So, the following video was sent to me by the Atheist Gamer. He asked me to do a video on how to spot a feminist. So if you guys are interested, you guys can go check out his channel. His username should be in the description box below. With that being said, I'm going to teach you guys how to spot a feminist. By all means, take us away.
Are you a feminist?
No, unfortunately I'm not. As it turns out, men can only be feminist allies. They can't actually be feminists. So I'm shit out of luck there.
We'll show you how to really spot one. So the hashtag how to spot a feminist has been simmering on social media for some time, but a radio talk show host really kicked it into high gear recently when he tweeted this, which unfortunately prompted a bunch of anti-feminist, ignorant, misogynist trolls to hijack the hashtag. Not cool, internet, not cool. But then a fierce feminist community of men and women decided to take it back. And we're joining in. So here's some pop culture supported pro tips for how to really spot a feminist. They believe in equality between men and women.
And that is why the first person you decide to show me is Emma Watson, the Queen of England herself. No, I'm sorry. The White Queen herself. No, she is not Emma Frost. I mean, her name is Emma. Maybe I can call her the White Queen, considering the fact that she commands a battalion of internet white knights. Or at least that's what she tried to do. She tried to get a whole bunch of men to stand up for women. Right? That's the whole he for she campaign in a nutshell. And what's this whole 10 by 10 by 10? Oh, I'm sorry. Impact 10 by 10 by 10. Yeah, that's the evolution of he for she, to get men to stand up for women whenever they see a problem going on. That's the first example you want to show me for the equality of men and women? Nope. Sorry, you don't have any water here.
Let the UN Women Goodwill Ambassador and He for She campaign champion Emma Watson, aka Hermione, break it down for you.
Oh, so you actually brought that up. Huh, well, we'll just refer to the last clip for my opinion on He for She.
For the record, feminism, by definition,
is the advocacy of women's rights based on the grounds of political, social, and economic equality to men. What the bloody hell does that even mean anyway?
is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities.
Wait a minute. The belief? Maybe Sargon was right. Maybe feminism has turned into a religion.
Which is why a real feminist understands that this is not just a women's issue.
And that is precisely why the first feminist you decide to show us is a woman who encourages men to stand up for women. Right? That doesn't sound like equality to me. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Back to you, Emma.
Men, gender equality is your issue too.
Fuck trying to solve all your problems with the MRA. Nah, forget about talking about issues you have. No, your job is to stand up for the honor of women around you, instead of allowing them to grow a backbone, and instead of allowing them to struggle and grow as human beings. No, prevent them from experiencing life by standing up for them. Yes, that is, you know what, I'm just going to save that for the end of the video. Keep talking.
Enter Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He knows feminism means letting everyone live their truth. JGL explains to Ellen DeGeneres.
I do call myself a feminist.
No, stop. You, sir, are not a feminist. You are what we refer to as allies. You need to get your feminist handbook, okay? Because you are just not doing it correctly.
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah, good for you.
It's just like, it's worth paying attention to the roles that are sort of dictated to us, and to realize that we don't have to fit into those roles.
No, on a serious notion, if you understand that concept, why the bloody hell do you need to be a feminist? Why can't you just be a normal person? Just be someone who understands reality, and the reality is people will have opinions, and it's up to you to decide whether you will allow those opinions to deter you from choosing the path you want in life. That's called being an adult. People are going to have an opinion on anything and everything you do. You can't please everybody. As long as you do what is ethical, what's moral, and what's good, then yeah, people's opinions are people's opinions. They can't hurt you.
They're strong. Zoe Saldana told Queen Latifah that women are built to be both beautiful and badass.
There's also a strength. It's part of our composition.
Right.
We're just, we're not encouraged to ignite it.
That might have something to do with the fact that you tell men to stand up for you whenever it is your opportunity to shine and stand up for yourself.
We're not encouraged to access it and to let it shine because it intimidates men.
You know, I hear women say this every now and again, that somehow a strong, independent woman intimidates men. No, it doesn't. In fact, I'm sure most men would love to be with a strong woman. I would love to be with a strong woman so I can have a family of strong individuals who get a perspective of life from their father and their mother. You see, here's the thing. We're not seeing a bunch of strong women. We're seeing a bunch of women who are feigning strength by being boisterous or by having a bunch of really top-tier jobs or by going to college. But we're not really seeing strong, confident women who are able to take criticism and say, well, whatever, I'm going to do the right thing no matter what you say. Or I'm going to do what I want to do no matter what you say, whether it's wrong or right. We're not seeing that. We're getting a bunch of cowardly women who complain about nothing. And of course, I'm specifically talking about Western society. I'm not talking about over in the Middle East. I'm not talking about in Africa or anywhere else. I'm talking about here in North America. You know, I'm talking about these people. Not Brazil, not Mexico, America. We get a bunch of these women who complain about nothing. Absolutely nothing. Women who can't even tell the bloody difference between a compliment and some guy trying to hurt her on the street. We're not getting a bunch of these strong, empowered women. I mean, I'm just saying.
They celebrate their bodies. Just watch Abby from Broad City, which always dishes out some raunchy and raw feminism, take her nudity to the edge of glory.
I fail to see how a naked woman is somehow indicative of feminism. I mean, isn't there an entire industry that revolves around naked women? What's that called? What is that? There's an entire industry. What is it called? What is that? What is it called? An entire industry that revolves around women modeling and being naked. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. Nope, don't know what that is.
And they celebrate diversity too. Alana, Abby's partner, and freaky feminist crime on Broad.
Just in case you guys didn't get that joke, I was talking about the porn industry, just so everyone's on the same board.
City knows what's up. They use humor to highlight the gender gap. The queen of the funny feminist skit, Amy Schumer.
Now, humor is subjective, and personally, I don't find Amy Schumer to be very funny. It's not because she's a woman, it's because she's just not funny.
Hired a boy band to put our culture's confusing beauty standards on blast. But they're serious about being the boss, which is why Beyonce, Jennifer Garner, and more ladies who run the world asked us to take this word out of our vocab.
I'm not bossy. I'm the boss.
You know, just might have to enact the labor of talking about being bossy in its own video. Yeah, that's gonna be a doozy. Keep talking.
They aren't trying to be likable, they're trying to be real. Girls, Lena Dunham takes us to school.
There's also the fact that we have an essential belief that being complex, annoying, and, multifaceted is the right of women on television.
They care. Lena lets it out.
But the fact is that I and we do care deeply about politics and do care deeply about things that are happening in the United States right now, particularly to women of color.
Let's bring that one back just for 1 second.
Particularly to women of color.
White Queen, would you please refer to what you said earlier today, Miss Watson?
Men, gender equality is your issue too.
Yeah, having a particular interest in women certainly doesn't sound like equality to me. I mean, I'm just saying.
Preach, girl. Tell us how you spot a feminist and tag all your proud feminist friends.
Was that a challenge? Well, by all means, I will correctly tell you people how to spot a feminist. To correctly spot a feminist, it's actually really easy. It's really simple. You see, if the person is a gigantic hypocrite, well, chances are they just might be a feminist. I mean, you can be a hypocrite about a whole bunch of things, so maybe that's just not the sole indicator of feminism there, okay? Alright, so here's another thing. If the person talks about being a gigantic slut or talk about promiscuity as if there are no issues or no problems with that at all, as if it's just perfectly fine to do that and there are no consequences at all, you're probably talking to a feminist. If you're talking to someone who lacks self-awareness, then you're probably dealing with a feminist. If you are talking to someone who has an incredible disdain for men, and then you're probably dealing with a feminist. If you're talking to someone who talks about a problem that very clearly affects human beings in general, but they primarily concern themselves with the problems of women as if men don't face those problems either, you're probably talking to a feminist. You see, I have been criticizing feminism for about a year now. Like really, I started making consistent content in May. And throughout the time I've never actually overtly stated why I dislike feminism so much. Well, actually I have a couple of times. One reason is because it makes everybody's lives miserable, okay? It's not helping anyone do anything here in our Western society, considering the fact that they spend a lot of their time complaining about mundane problems. Oh, there goes another one. If you see a woman complain about mundane problems that she can solve without the use of a social movement, probably talking to a feminist. You see, the thing about feminism that really gets me is it claims to have a desire to create empowered women or strong, independent women. And yet, every one of their solutions has always been to get men to do something for them. Nothing in feminism has an incentive to truly create independent women who genuinely have confidence, who genuinely care about the people around them, who genuinely want to make the world a better place. Now, I say this all the time, that not every feminist is a bad person. I think some feminists are just misguided. They just don't know what they're talking about. They're more egalitarians, if anything. Okay? That being said, again, I just think some are misguided, but there's a lot of feminists who are just gigantic hypocrites. Emma Watson, I think, really shows me here that Emma Watson in the Ban Bossy campaign, and everything I said in other videos, is it's about getting men to do things for women, but never giving women an opportunity to actually grow and experience the world. You just coddle them. You saw a whole bunch of feminists with the protein roll thing complain about it, so a bunch of people had to take the posters down, or they got banned, because it hurt people's feelings. We saw what happened with Nash Greer. Nash Greer makes a video about what he likes about girls, and he got a tidal wave, a flaming barrage of a bunch of feminists complaining to a 15-year-old boy at the time about how he was wrong for having preferences. I see the hypocrisy, and I see their goal not being obtained. We have a bunch of solipsistic women. They're incredibly narcissistic, and they don't even like themselves anymore. Feminists claim they want to create these strong, independent women, and they do nothing but the opposite. That is how you spot out a feminist. So, yeah, with that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, man, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the box below. And as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.